Good afternoon and welcome into another edition of That's What I Think with Brandon Swanson. I'm your fearless host, Brandon Swanson, coming at you again a little day late, but we're hoping to get back on track next week. I thought we'd be back on track this week, but with the national championship game on Monday night and Ricky and I not recording on Monday, it just kind of bumped everything back, but we bumped things back last week, and it seemed to go pretty well for that show. If you watched it, you know what I'm talking about. But this week, we're talking about another interesting topic, and that is what is going on in New England and inside the Patriots locker room. And an ESPN article came out a couple of days ago talking about how that there is actually a power struggle between the three main guys in New England, that being quarterback Tom Brady, head coach Bill Belichick, and their owner, Robert Kraft. And it's really, really interesting. The article, if you read it, if you got through it, good for you, because it seemed like pages and pages long. I thought I was going through government documents, but it was an interesting article, and there was a lot there. There was a lot to dissect. And before I even read it, and I had heard about it, I thought, no, not the New England Patriots, not the team where these three guys had been together for 18 years, not the team that had garnered Super Bowl win after Super Bowl win after Super Bowl win. No way that this was happening inside the Patriots organization. Then I read the article. And it's interesting because it seems like a lot of the friction stemmed from Alex Guerrero, Tom Brady's personal trainer, his uplifter. Tom, you're wonderful. Let me be in your inner circle, Tom. Please, Tom. The same guy who helped him to write the book and get out the book, basically the TB12 way, I believe that's the TB12 Method, excuse me, the TB12 Method. And then trying to implement the TB12 Method amongst the other members of the team. Now, it seemed like this was going okay for a little bit. However, if you look at the method, apparently controversial, in its method and in its philosophy on injury recovery and how injuries should never be attested to the team, never should be contributed to the game that you're playing. You know, football didn't cause the injury. Really weird stuff like that. And actually, the ESPN report says that people inside the team said that it was a very cult feeling. Well, sure, that doesn't make any sense with how your injury isn't caused by your sport. Well, that is stupid, because of course it is. If Tom Brady didn't play football, he probably wouldn't have torn his ACL against the Chiefs. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. So it's really weird with this method, what it's saying, its philosophical ideas about things. The report is information from more than a dozen players, execs, staffers on this New England Patriot team. So it's hard for someone, let's say the New England Patriots brass at the top, to say, no, this isn't true. But it's interesting the arguments that they have and the things that they disagree on. Clearly Alex Guerrero being one of them, and his relationship with Tom Brady and the team as a whole, the long-term plans at quarterback, Belichick's coaching style, and ultimately, who will be the last one standing at the top of the Patriots organization. So sticking with Alex Guerrero, he's already a controversial figure. He's already, back in 2005, been sued. He's been sued for his supplements, for things he's put out about supplements, saying that his supplements can cure cancer. Well, it hasn't. And it's not true. And many other instances just like that one. So this goes back to a point earlier where he's controversial. He has a weird, different philosophy on his own and about what he's putting out to players about injury, about what these supplements and about what his methods can help. So it's weird to me, it's odd to me, that a guy like Tom Brady, who I would look at Tom Brady to be a smart guy, he's certainly football savvy, that he let a guy like Alex Guerrero into his very small, apparently, inner circle. Tom Brady, apparently known around the locker room as a loner, according to the ESPN report. Not fully surprising. Not completely surprising. I don't think you would ever catch him on a yacht with Odell Beckham Jr., but at the same time, Tom Brady is more concerned with football and how can I be better at football. Where you'd catch him is in the film room. Where you catch him is in the locker room, on the field, at the Patriots facility. That's the dedication that Tom Brady has. And some people may say that's too much. He needs to have a life outside football. Well, to this point, it's done him pretty well to not have much of a life outside football, or at least have done a good job of making sure it's a private life. But still, getting back to the point of Alex Guerrero being inside his inner circle, it's interesting, it's weird that a guy like Alex Guerrero has been able to find his way into Tom Brady's inner circle. So another interesting point, when Julian Edelman went down at the beginning of the season with a knee injury, there were a lot of people on the team, a lot of players on the team that were wondering who was going to be taking the next spot, who was going to be taking Edelman's spot, who was going to be the next Julian Edelman for the season. And there were players on the team supposedly who followed Gronkowski and Amendola and went to these TB12 facilities where they practiced the TB12 method, did things like that. And they felt that if they went there, if they followed those guys, those leaders on the team, they would have the in. And apparently they felt pressured to do so, that they were looked at differently if they went to team trainers and not to the TB12 clinics and workouts run by Alex Guerrero. So now Alex Guerrero started with Tom Brady back in 2004. So many years ago, 13, 14 years ago. Belichick at the time had invited him into the facility, free reign and access in 2013, and then quickly realized that this was a terrible idea when Guerrero was criticizing team trainers about how they did things and apparently not offering really any support or meaningful advice on his own end. So Belichick, Bill Belichick, one of the smartest guys and possibly the smartest head coach in the NFL, was not fooled, as Bill is never fooled. He knew this guy needed to go, or his access needed to be diminished. This same year in 2013, 2014, Bill Belichick drafted a guy you might know, Jimmy Garoppolo from Eastern Illinois. Now, Jimmy Garoppolo was seen as a kid who, this guy has talent. This guy is going to be good. We're not going to see it for a while, but this guy is going to be good. He's going to sit behind Tom Brady, and he'll hide there for a little while. However, there came a point where I guess it was time for the Patriots to move on from Jimmy Garoppolo, not Tom Brady. Tom Brady, in his early 40s, saying he plans to play for at least another 10 years. That's great, Tommy. That's great. I love your enthusiasm. But your realism is skewed. Who has done that? What quarterback has done that? What quarterback has effectively played well into their 40s? Effectively. Now, someone told me before I went on, oh, well, Brett Favre did okay in a game. Well, Brett Favre didn't have continued success. Not at that age. Not at that age. And Tom Brady, we've already seen this year, there have been times when he's been the MVP caliber that many people think. And then at other times, you're going, Tom, what are you doing? Has he lost a step? Possibly. That's age. That's what it does. But Jimmy Garoppolo is traded. And apparently, Tom Brady is liberated. People saying around the organization that Tom Brady's hugging. He's so excited. He's the happiest he had been in a while at team practices that week. Him and Robert Kraft embraced with a big hug after the trade. Some may take that with a grain of salt. Some may say, wow, this is something. I'm somewhere in the middle. I'm somewhere in the middle. Can things get misconstrued? Yes. But do I think someone would blatantly lie about this embrace between Brady and Kraft after the trade? No, I don't. So going back to Jimmy Garoppolo. Jimmy Garoppolo at one point was not let into the TB12 facility. Supposedly, things weren't great between Brady and Jimmy G. Brady wasn't helping Jimmy along. He wasn't mentoring him. He didn't feel the need to. Didn't feel the need to help him with footwork. Didn't feel the need to stay late after practices and help him to develop his skills. Didn't feel the need. And maybe that's not his job. But Tom Brady, being the guy he is, I would expect it. I would expect that Tom Brady would do something like that for a younger guy who's going to be the next guy in the NFL in Jimmy Garoppolo. Brady on his way out, maybe not in his mind. Maybe not in his mind thanks to the TB12 method that Alex Guerrero tells him, hey, you work out like this, you do this, you take these supplements. You're fine, Tom. You're invincible, Tom. Well, you're wrong, Tom. Not invincible. And you're doing a disservice to Jimmy Garoppolo by not helping him. So this then continues to go on, and apparently Jimmy Garoppolo is then let into the facility 2 weeks later after apparently there was a miscommunication. But you move on from that and you move into Bill Belichick being worried about Brady getting to his 40s. Bill Belichick is a guy who knows when it's time to move on from a guy. Not because of disrespect, but because Bill Belichick is a winner. And he wants to leave an organization in a better spot and in a good spot for when he's ready to move on, whether that's to another team or to retire. That's what Bill Belichick wants to do. And he knows Tom Brady is coming down the stretch, down the pike, to the end of his career. The Patriots had multiple times tried to offer Jimmy Garoppolo a 4-year deal at $17 or $18 million. And then there would be more money coming to him after he most likely took the job after Tom Brady was gone. Well, we know that's not happening. Jimmy Garoppolo is gone and Brady is still there. Belichick was supposedly supposed to trade Garoppolo, and that Garoppolo was not in the long-term plans of the New England Patriots, and that he was supposed to find a quarterback in the draft and develop him. That just seems so odd to me. Jimmy Garoppolo is not in the long-term plans. This guy is talented. This guy is smart. He is really a great athlete. He showed it when Tom Brady was suspended. He's supposed to trade him. So what does Bill Belichick do? He goes out, he calls up Shanahan with the 49ers, talks with him, has a conversation with him, and then says, I'll send you Jimmy Garoppolo for a 2nd-round pick. And Shanahan goes, are you sure? Are you sure? Boom. Jimmy Garoppolo goes over to the 49ers and doesn't lose a game when he starts. And the Patriots were left with questions all over the locker room. This doesn't seem like Bill Belichick. This doesn't seem like a move he would make. And it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense with everything that we know about Bill Belichick. This isn't a move that makes sense. This isn't a move that Bill does on his own. No way. No backup quarterback? Brissett's given away to Indianapolis earlier in the season for an absolutely terrible wide receiver, an injury-plagued wide receiver in Philip Dorsett? That's all you get back for that? And then you get rid of Garoppolo knowing that you now have a 40-year-old quarterback and that's it? Nothing else? And then the guy you bring in, Brian Hoyer, knowing that there's no competition there against Brady? That is not in the bloodstream of Bill Belichick. Makes no sense. Everyone's scratching their head. Everyone. Inside the Patriots locker room, outside of the Patriots locker room, outside of the New England Patriots. They're scratching their heads because that doesn't make sense. You gave Jimmy away for nothing. And then you move on to the end of the season. The ESPN report says the feeling around the team getting to the Jets game is a sad one. You're 13-3 and you have a sad feeling around the team? That in and of itself says a lot. There's something going on here. There's gotta be. Whatever it is, there's something. Many wondering if this is the end of the New England Patriots as they know it. Many people thinking that Matt Patricia will be getting a head coaching job. Many think Josh McDaniels will get another head coaching job. And then from there, offensive coordinator gone, defensive coordinator gone, assistants may go with them. The New England Patriots, as we know it, as we know them to be, with their success, with their dynasty, it could be ending whoosh, like that. One foul swoop and it's over. And how about that? What would that be like? Bill Belichick to go off and work for the Giants? The one team supposedly that he would want to go to if he left? Tom Brady to eventually realize that Alex Guerrero in the TB12 method isn't foolproof and doesn't make him invincible, leaves, and Robert Kraft is left looking left and looking right and wondering, what have I got? What have I done? And many people, coaches on the staff, players on the field, said that the Jets game felt like the end. The end of an era, the end of a dynasty, the end of a legacy that had been built over years and years and years. Many of them with winning, which is why it's been able to be masked for so long. But now it gets to a point where there's definitely egos, and Bill's done a great job of that for so many years. Many egos on his team. And you had the Randy Moss. You have Tom Brady. You have Gronkowski. You have many more. And you're able to have really nothing go wrong in terms of winning-wise. Sure, you have Spygate, you have Deflategate, but you get past that and you still win. Where's the future? Where's the future? The future's in San Francisco. You gave him away, but you were told to do so. You were told to do so. And one thing that I had mentioned the other night, that Bill Belichick is one of the best, smartest guys. Everyone always makes fun of him in an interview. So, Bill, what did you think about this game today? We're on to the Jets. No, Bill, we're on to the Jets. Bill Belichick has never been a guy to really give you the answer you want. The media's had nothing to play with. No story to use, nothing like Rex Ryan has given them on the other side with the Jets. Tons of information. Tons of information. And all of that drama, it overshadows anything the Jets are actually doing. Belichick never gave them a piece of information. So they've always been able to stay focused in New England. No reason not to. Now, there's a reason not to. And did the beginning of the end start a long time ago in New England and no one ever saw it? It could have. It definitely could have. Are the things in the ESPN report possibly, is it the full story? Is it the true picture? Or is it possibly blown up to be more than what it should be? Well, folks, unfortunately, there's only 3 guys who will ever know the true story. And that's what I think this week, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Always a lot of fun to have you come in and watch and comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you think about the New England Patriots. Is there trouble brewing there in New England, or have we blown this out of proportion? Personally, I think the whole thing is that Kraft and Brady both voted for Donald Trump, and Bill Belichick said, no, I'm a Jill Stein or Hillary Clinton kind of guy, so that's where the rift began. That's where I think it happened. But let me know down below. Let me know what you think. Thanks so much for checking out this video. I'm hoping that next week we're back on the regular schedule. On Wednesday, the show will come out. Definitely hoping. It'll be 2 Central, 3 Eastern, 12 Pacific. Hope to catch you again next week. Until then, have a wonderful rest of your week, everybody. Enjoy a great weekend. So long.